I want to briefly talk about this story that just happened on Monday, March 20th, 2023. A 23-year-old woman went inside MSI Auto Sales in Middletown, Wisconsin. She wanted her money back on a car that she had recently purchased and it had been giving her problems. Jakira Anderson and the salesman, Kawsu Sambu, please forgive me if I mispronounced his name, 34 years old. They had gotten into a heated discussion about this car. I'm assuming that he did not give her money back. For her to be there for 4 hours and nothing is being accomplished. Around 1:30 p.m., he had tried to usher her out. Jakira had pulled out a gun and shot Sambu. He was rushed to the hospital. The bullet had pierced his lung and his heart. They couldn't save him. He passed away. When the police arrived, Jakira was arrested. She was later given a $1 million bond, and she was charged with first-degree intentional homicide. She allegedly told police, quote, "I wasn't trying to kill him. I just wanted to scare him away. I didn't think I was going to hit him," end quote. Now, before I get a little bit more into the people involved in this story, and I'm going to continue to say this, owning a gun is no longer for protection. That's not what it's used for anymore. It's used for ending arguments. It's used for ending relationships. It's used for ending the person's own life. But it is never used for protection anymore. It's not. And the saddest part of the story is this girl is 23 years old. I don't know if it was her first time using a gun. I don't know why she even has a gun, but it seems like everyone has a gun, right? And it seemed that she wanted her money back and wasn't getting it back. Now, you know how I love to look in the comments, and there is a comment where there's one particular person. I don't know if he was there. I don't know if he knows the salesman involved, but he said that the victim had pushed her. Now, before I even get into that, and I even won't, because there should be CCC footage in there, and that should be able to tell if he had got aggressive, because this man in the comments was saying that he had gotten aggressive and she felt, I guess, scared or whatever, and she went and got this gun. I don't know if she went and got it or if it was already on her. I don't know, but she ended up shooting him. There is so much wrong with this story. From everything that I've read about him, he seemed to be a kind-hearted and gentle person. I'm, in my mind, imagining maybe he touched her shoulder, her mid-back, to kind of just say, look, I can't help you anymore, and kind of very softly touched her. But that's still touching somebody, and that was her reasoning for doing that. That's like the only thing I could think about, besides the fact that she wasn't getting her money 4 hours later. That's really all I could think about. The only reason why I even brought that up is because she said, I just wanted to scare him away. I wasn't going to kill him. So there should be footage in that place, or it should be other people that were there that seen this happen. Either way, it's just crazy. It's literally crazy to people to just be walking around with guns. They bring them into fast food restaurants. People are getting killed like more every day. Every day, it's somebody dying senselessly because of a disagreement in a public place. And it's going to continue to happen, most definitely. But this story is so sad because he just gotten married. And he's expecting his first child. He's from Gambia, I believe. And His sister was talking about how she spoke to him a week ago and he helped her, find housing, and how he's a pillar of society. He's a good man. He helped the community. Everything I was reading about him, everything. I couldn't find anything on Jakira. I'm not saying that she is a problem, but, and I don't want to look at her picture and say that she's a problem, but I mean, she could have been dressed to the T's, and it's still a crime. It's still horrible. It's still a crime. And it's like, why? Why? We were talking about it earlier at work, and I was like, maybe the car didn't have a warranty on it. Maybe it was, buy as is. And I had brought up a situation where I was actually in Alabama a while ago, a very long time ago, and I was getting a Ford Taurus, and I had gave them all my money, signed the paperwork, had to pay another car note of a prior month away. I was so happy. I made sure I paid a car note beforehand just to make sure that was out the way. And I kid you not, as soon as I pulled out of the dealership and onto the main highway, the car, it started to smoke and it broke down. Long story short, it needed an alternator. But when I had to literally walk back to the dealership, and they told me there was nothing I can do about it. It was as is. And I was like, what? Are you crazy? Are you kidding me? And this was when I was really young. So I didn't know really too much about cars, about warranties and all that. I don't leave off of a dealership without some type of warranty or something, unless I'm paying cash money or something. But I mean, they ended up fixing it for me, and they said they were going to add it on to my bill, which they probably already knew that, it had a messed up alternator. But, if you ever go and get a car, bring a mechanic with you, most definitely, or make sure the car has a warranty on it, because, these car dealerships, they will get over. A lot of them do. Most of them get paid on commission. And I'm not, saying anything about this father to be and just now recently married man. I'm not saying, it about him. I'm just saying in general. She could have went different ways to get her money back. Different ways. They're not really speaking on what was wrong with the car, why she couldn't get her money back. But my friend said she could have got a lawyer. She could have, there's many ways. There is many ways that she could have tried, maybe talk to somebody else. I don't know, because the story is not really saying much about the car, because the tragedy, the fact that this man is no longer here because of this car sale. This woman is going to be gone for a very long time because of this car sale. His wife, Vino Jallo, according to Newsweek, she had said something directly to Jakira. She said, quote, "Jakira, you murdered my husband and you took away a piece from me. My husband was the most loved and respectful, ambitious, and sweetest person on this earth. You make me a widow and my child fatherless," end quote. I mean, people should really think before they act. They should. I myself am very hot-tempered. I am. I'm very quick to make decisions. I was a fighter. Definitely. I was a fighter. Years ago, I was a fighter. I prefer to fight than argue with you. That's how I used to kick it. But, as I got older, things change. People around you change. Some remain the same, and you move on. You change your situation. You change your behavior. I left. I'm no longer in New York. But I was bad. I was bad, like I said, and quick-tempered. And I have peace now in my life. And now people need to try to search for that peace, because it is so many people out there that are going to try to distract your peace in any way that they can. Unfortunately, as friendly and as nice as I am to people, when I'm out in public, I really try to distance myself from people, because you just don't know what's going on in people's minds these days, what they're planning on doing. It's just terrible. If the person doesn't have a good aura, if the situation isn't good, I'm out. I refuse. Oh, and this has been years. I don't argue with anybody. I say what I have to say. You say what you have to say. If we can't work this out, let's just split. That's just how I kick it, for real. And I guess she put her, I'm guessing it's income tax season now, so maybe she put her income tax money down on this car. But I'm sure she's sitting there in that cell, and there was probably other ways she could have handled this situation. Many other ways. This man is doing his job. If the car was sold as is, then many ways that this situation just could have been handled differently. And as I look at the comments all over social media about this man and the outpour of love that this man has, it's like, wow, Kawsu Sambu. His family had came down to be with the family in Wisconsin. I think he had family in Philadelphia and other states. Unfortunately, his mother is still in Gambia. Very, very horrible, horrible story. Rest in peace, Kawsu Sambu.